The stars above Yara's reach were the color of rust, and beneath them drifted the Solace Dawn, a Class IV human hospital ship. It bore no weapons, only gleaming white hulls, soft beacon distress lights, and the red double-cross insignia of Earth's medical fleet. Its purpose was singular: heal the wounded of all species, enemy or ally alike. Inside, doctors moved with trained urgency. Synthetic arms handed off supplies. Triage droids floated through corridors, scanning vitals. And at the heart of it all, Chief Medic Arlen Voss worked tirelessly, his hands stained not with blood but with effort. Half his staff were alien volunteers from once hostile factions. In here, politics dissolved. Only pain remained. And the will to stop it. Then came the transmission. Encrypted, garbled, a warning in a dead language: "They are coming, hide your light." 3 minutes later, the lights died. Sensors screamed, gravity stuttered, and then came the attack. A stealth cruiser, unknown configuration, decloaked just above the Solace Dawn's stern. It fired plasma torpedoes not at engines, but at the surgical bays. Then the crew quarters. Then the neonatal ward. The ship didn't stand a chance. Within 10 minutes, the Solace Dawn was split in half, bleeding atmosphere and bodies into the void. Screams were silenced by space. Debris twisted and burned against Yara's sun. Of the 8201 aboard, only 43 escaped in emergency pods. Among them was Arlen Voss, barely breathing, clinging to a crushed datapad soaked in coolant and blood. The message he managed to send to Earth was only 5 words: "They killed the white ship." The response was silence for 13 hours. Then came Earth's retaliation. It began with a blackout in the Yarlan cluster. Every system, every orbiting station, every relay node went dark. Then came a storm of signal bursts. Thousands of small drones, each no larger than a grain of rice, launched from Earth's relay arrays. They embedded themselves into enemy networks, feeding false data, looping scans. The attackers, an alliance of mercenary species from the outer folds calling themselves the Vaquari, didn't even realize they'd been found. But Earth did not send missiles. They sent Aegis 3. Aegis 3 was not a battleship. It was a weaponized medical AI, originally built to protect human hospital ships, then later mothballed due to being too aggressive. They reactivated it. And they gave it one command: make it hurt. Aegis 3 hacked the attacker's life support first. Then it locked their ship doors. Then it disabled all but one escape pod, and used the final 30 seconds before explosion to play back every name and age of those killed aboard the Solace Dawn. The Vaquari didn't just lose ships, they lost legacy. Their homeworld orbital grid was shut down, their war funds rerouted to medical charities, their leaders exposed to bounty hunters. It was not war, it was erasure. Months passed. And from the ashes of retribution came a new treaty, one that forbade attacks on medical vessels under penalty of planetary quarantine. But war always leaves scars. Arlen Voss returned to Earth a broken man. Half his face was reconstructed. One lung was synthetic. The voices of the dead whispered to him at night. The government offered him medals. He refused them. He moved to the mountains, where snow covered the ground like bandages over an old wound. That's where she found him. Her name was Selah Rix, a former Vaquari interpreter who had defected 2 years before the attack. She had been one of the anonymous translators who once aided Arlen's hospital team. And when she heard about what happened, she left everything behind to find him. He didn't answer the door when she knocked, so she waited, for hours, then days. Eventually, he opened it. "I have nothing to say to your kind," he said. "I'm not here to talk," she replied. "I'm here to listen." She stayed outside in the cold every day until he relented. It was slow, the healing, they barely spoke. Then shared tea, then stories, then grief. He learned she'd lost her brother in the retaliation. She learned he still remembered the face of every child who died aboard the Solace Dawn. And when he finally cried, it wasn't from pain. It was because, for the first time since the attack, someone understood. They built something together, not love at first, not romance, trust, then warmth, then something that felt like survival. Years passed, and a new ship was launched. Larger, brighter. Armed only with shields and hope. They named it the Solace Reborn. Its co-commanders were a human and a Vaquari, Arlen and Selah. They didn't erase the past. They carried it with them, through the stars, through recovery zones, through battlefields still warm from fire. And on the hull of their ship was a new symbol, one that every species in the galaxy now recognized not with fear but reverence. The White Cross, not just a sign of medicine, but a promise. You will be protected. And if you dare violate that promise again, Earth would answer, swiftly.